Hey y'all, long time no see. We have a lot of catching up to do, and I'm not gonna edit this video or nothing like that. I'm just gonna upload it and just go forward. So, I have not posted on my YouTube channel since October. The last thing I posted on my YouTube channel was a Halloween vlog, and then I just stopped. Um, and today I want to talk about passion burnout. Now, y'all, if I'm being honest, I do not want to make this video. Not because I don't know. It's more so just because I just don't feel like it, right? I just and it's I don't even know how to explain how I'm feeling, right? I don't really know how to explain how I'm feeling. And the Lord been putting it on me to make a YouTube video about what you've been going through. Go and talk to them about what you've been going through. And he's giving me ideas and titles for this. These are going to be my video diaries. Just real, raw, and uncut, like my name, Ray on the Rocks, straight, all straight, no chasers, no BS, no fillers, none of that. Just me. I'm sorry if it's shaking. I got it on my tripod. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. Now, yesterday I sat down while I was at work and I just wrote down a whole bunch of stuff that I was gonna talk about, y'all. But this morning, I just feel like blah. Whatever is going on in my life is more important, or has, I don't even want to say more important, has taken over everything that I have a passion for, right? So let me just start off by saying this. If you haven't liked the video, like the video. And if this is your first time here, hey, my name is Raven, okay? This is my channel. And we just gonna be real, raw, and honest today. Initially, my thought when I was writing this down was we was gonna talk about the title was going to be the spirit of abortion and self-sabotage, but today it was passion burnout, right? What exactly does that mean? Okay, so let's just do a quick update on my life before I get into complaining. Okay, so a lot has changed since my last video in October. How many months was that ago? November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So 8 months ago, basically 9 months, because it's almost July, a lot has changed. I was telling you guys that I was struggling with an alcohol addiction, y'all. Not no more, okay? So that's great news. I have not had a drink since November, and I plan to keep it that way, okay? So I have been completely sober. I am also almost down. I'm gonna speak it into existence. I am down 30 pounds since y'all last saw me, okay? The last time I recorded a video, I was 185 pounds. I stepped on the scale today. I'm 152, praise the Lord, okay? And I'm just claiming that 30. We just gonna round up. So I'm gonna say I'm 150 pounds, which is great, okay? I've been working. I've been being a mom. Y'all know I got a son. We've been dealing with his diagnosis. If y'all didn't know, I have a son who was on the spectrum, and that's been a whole journey in itself. What else has been going on? I've been dealing with this food addiction, which has been the biggest thing in my life, and dealing with my self-confidence, okay? So let's just start off with there. Why did I stop making videos? So for one, like I just told y'all, it was a lot going on in my life, and I didn't know where recording or what I wanted to do would fit into the daily tasks that I have to do every day just to maintain my home and keep a place, a roof over my son's head, and keep him clean, keep him living in a clean house. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna do that. And then on top of that, I wasn't satisfied with the quality of videos that I was making, because y'all know I'm recording off my phone. I don't have a camera. I felt like my home wasn't aesthetically pleasing enough. Like, I was continuously comparing myself to the YouTube girlies that I love to watch. Y'all know, if you watch any of my other videos, um, I've been watching YouTube since I was a little girl, like since I was in high school. I've been wanting to make YouTube videos since I was in high school. I just never had the courage to, because I never felt like I was pretty enough. I didn't feel like my life was interesting enough, and now that I'm grown, I want to do vlogs and stuff, but it's like, girl, I don't be doing nothing. I be in the house, or I be with my son, or I'm doing, my life ain't lit like that. You feel me? I just live a regular, schmegular life. And sometimes, even though I'm grateful for my life, it's peaceful, y'all. It's so peaceful compared to where I'm coming from with being with my son's dad and all of that. But sometimes I just feel like that ain't good enough. Like, it's boring. I felt like my videos was boring. The only thing I was doing was talking about whatever stuff that I felt like people didn't care about. I felt maybe the content was relatable, but I don't know. I just felt like it was whatever. Then I was not like, I didn't like the way that I looked on camera because I was big, right? Like, I've always struggled with my weight. I was a chubby child, you feel me? And when I was younger, like, I had relatives and stuff that used to call me fat. Like, I wasn't a skinny kid. And now that I think about it, I was a kid. I wasn't, who calls a kid fat? But I've always had insecurities about my weight. So much so to where when I was in high school and when I did start to thin out, you have your baby fat, then you thin out in middle school and high school. Even in my, a few years of going to college, I still felt fat. And I was 125 pounds, 130 pounds. So I've always been hard on myself because of how I felt like I looked. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I wasn't satisfied. And then on top of that, like, I looked at myself on camera and I wasn't satisfied. My face looked so swollen, right? Like, my neck was dark, which is like an indication of illness from my understanding, just because I was stress eating. I was eating fast food every day. I was drinking every day because I was just so, like, overwhelmed with the responsibilities of motherhood. Being a single mom on its own is already hard, y'all, but being a single mom with a child with a special needs child, having a child with autism, it's very hard. And feeling like you don't have no support, you feel what I'm saying? Like, not to give y'all too much, but just feeling like you don't have no support and you don't have no time for yourself. I don't have no time to be a woman. I don't have no time to be beautiful. That it leads you to burnout, right? It just burns you out, and it makes you just say, for lack of better words, forget it. Like, forget, like, and that's just how I was feeling. So I just stopped because it consumed a lot of time. Then on top of that, I don't know why I was thinking like I was gonna make a video and have 100,000 subscribers. Like, I'll make a video and maybe, which is great though. Now that I think about it, it's great. Maybe 30 people watch it. I'm coming from having no platforms on nowhere. I'm not big on Instagram. I've never been the most popular girl in school or on social media. So this is just like people who was like, oh, okay, she seemed cool. I'll subscribe to her. And instead of me being grateful for that, I was just like, it's not good enough, So I just stopped making videos, okay? But I'm back at it, and I wanna continue to. I wanna continue to make videos until I find that passion again, because I used to be so excited to get on, and possibly get a comment, just to be doing something that I always wanted to do, and now it's just kind of like, I don't know. So yeah, it's like life burnt out my passion for things that I love, even not just YouTube. Like, I love to be a DIY girly. There was a point in time I used to love to do my own hair, love to do my own nails, my lashes, and all of that. Motherhood and life and being an adult, having to work, bills, stress, and all of that. It pulls you away from who you are, to where you be like, who am I? Who am I? What is it that I like? Yes, I am a mother, but that's not the only thing that I am. Yes, I'm the head of household, but that's not all that I am. Who am I outside of that? And it's like, I don't know anymore. And it's very sad, but it's the reality. And I feel like a lot of mothers feel like that. Like, I don't know who I am anymore outside of having kids. I can't date. Like, no, I'm just rambling, y'all. But like, I don't feel comfortable dating, even though I know I want to, we're gonna put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. I don't really have a lot of friends like that no more. And the friends that I do have, I can't really hang out with them like that because I don't really have a sitter like that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just a lot going on mentally, and trying to fight that and trying not to fully allow yourself to slip into a depression because I can't afford it. If I fall into a depression, then my son, he go without. My son is left to fend for himself. I can't do that, right? That was a part of the reason why I had to stop drinking and stop smoking, and even with my eating habits, stop eating poorly, because I got to change my eating habits so that I can change his eating habits. Like, I can't afford to do that. So yeah, I just gotta keep moving. So let's just get into the topic of the video, okay? So when I first got saved, y'all, what was it, 2022? Yeah, I think it was 2022, or maybe it's 2023, the beginning of 2023. Long story short, I had lost everything. I've talked about this before. I lost my crib, I lost my car, I got fired from my job. I had to move back in with my baby daddy, and we had like I didn't have to. I made the choice to. Let me correct. I made the choice to because I was ashamed to move back in with my parents, which is what I should have did in the first place. But I moved back in with my baby daddy because I felt like, he would help me, and it would be a softer blow on my, I ain't gonna say on my son, but on my it would be a softer blow on my ego than just straight up going back to living with my parents. Well, that didn't work out. We had a tumultuous relationship. I don't even know if I'm using that in the right context, but it was very toxic, very abusive, and I don't even know. Fear put me back in that relationship. Fear of, I don't know, trying to struggle and do it by myself put me back in a place that led to more fear, and it was a lot. So I ended up, once I got the courage from my Lord and Savior to get on up out of there, I moved into my mom's house. And me and my son was staying in the basement of my mom's house. And it was hard, y'all. It was hard on me mentally. It was hard on me, like, emotionally. I didn't have a car. Luckily, I had found a new job. I was working from home, and I had support from my mother and my grandfather, because once I moved out that house with my baby daddy, he was basically like, y'all, like, you don't want to be here with me, I'm not helping you. And granted, he was going through some stuff, but listen, I go through stuff too, and I don't ever get the option to abandon my child. So that's just how I feel about that. But luckily I did have family support, the little bit that I had. So it was hard. So because I was struggling so much mentally, I didn't know what else to do but to lean on the Lord. So that's what I did. And during this time, I was on fire for Christ. Like, I had just got saved. I still wasn't going to church or nothing like that, but I was just reading my Bible, searching for encouragement, because I was this close to just snapping. Really, I was that close to snapping. And I had ran across this video by Tiffany Montgomery, and she has a I don't even know what to call it, but I can't think of the name in that she calls it, but it's the name of her business, or her, I don't want to call it a business, but it's called Covered by God, right? So under this title, she does, she's a prophetess. She does sermons. She has written books. She was the first person I ran into who taught me about the spirit of abortion, right? Because I had never thought about it. And actually, let me get my book so I can show y'all, because I ain't looked at this since I don't know when. So this is This is my book, y'all. This is what I'm looking at. It's all raggedy, but I'm gonna try to find it for y'all. I'm not gonna cut this out, so just give me a minute so I can find it. Oh, so okay, so this was 2023. Dang, I hope I do not have to edit this because I cannot find it. Dang. I can't find it. Maybe it's not meant for me to put it in this video, like to go into details with it. But basically in that video, she touched on a number of things, but she talked about the act of actually having a physical abortion, like being pregnant and getting a abortion. I don't know if I said it on YouTube, but that's what she was talking about. And what that does to women, what that opens like yourself up to as spiritually, and what you're actually doing in the spiritual realm, which blew my mind. It had me repenting, and because y'all, not to try to put y'all all in my business, but I'm putting y'all all in my business. That's something that I've been through more than once. Okay, so it was a lot. Okay, so but in that same video, she talked about the spirit of abortion over your life, right? So she was talking about thinking about if you ever was a person who always start stuff and never finish. If you have goals that you try to reach and you never finish them, or you never accomplish them, you have things that you want to do that you're passionate about, but for whatever reason, life always just get in your way and you never reach your goals, right? You have talents and skills that you don't know what to do with, and you know, like, I'm supposed to be doing something with this, but every time I try, I get in my own way, or something gets in my way to make me not reach that goal and make me stagnant. Well, and I realized, like, I identify with that so much, y'all, because there was so many things that I still, like, that still hurt me when I think about that I wasn't able to do. The main thing is like finishing my full college experience. Now, granted, I have to forgive myself for that because I was young, and if I knew better, I would have did better, but I didn't know no better. Some stuff I did know better, but in the grand scheme of things, it just wasn't meant for me to do it in that way. And I forgive myself, and you know, I just move forward from that. But that resonated with me, and I thought about my life and the things that were aborted because of that. So, and I felt like YouTube and making content, even doing my TikTok, has become a part of those things, like dying dreams that I just let die, that I would look back in 20-30 years and be like, damn, Raven, you should have did that. Why you didn't do that? Why you didn't push yourself? You know, why you didn't? And I do feel like it's a heavy spirit, but I do understand that since I've been saved and I've broken these curses over my life, that I'm free, and that in order for me to like really reach my goals, it's not just gonna come just because I'm learning that God don't work like that. He's not just like, well, sometimes he do, but maybe just not for me. He don't work like that. Like, okay, I've opened the door for you. Now you have to walk through it. I'm not going, because what I be wanting the Lord to do is levitate, like pick me up and levitate me and just push me through the door so I don't have to do nothing. But it's like, no, I open this door for you to get back everything that the enemy stole from you, and you got to walk through that door. And y'all, I be having a hard time putting on my shoes. Like, you don't even got to put no shoes on. Just walk through the door. You feel what I'm saying? And take what belongs to you, and do what it is that you want to do. And for whatever reason, like, I'm not even going to put it on the enemy. I self-sabotage. And yeah, I self-sabotage. That's what I wrote. So we're going to get into that. So first I want to talk about, like I said, the spirit of abortion. So what exactly is it? It's having a dream, a passion, an idea, or a goal, but never reaching its full potential or getting it off the ground for whatever reason. And like I told y'all, my reason is self-sabotage. So another thing that Tiffany Montgomery was teaching me when I was heavily watching her was that words have power, and you need to, like, in order to really fully know what it is that you're saying, you need to define some of these things, right? So I Googled what self-sabotage was, and the definition is when someone engages in behaviors that undermine their own goals and progress unintentionally, right? So unintentionally or intentionally. And it says that it can manifest in various ways: procrastination, perfectionism, avoidance, and is often rooted in the spirit of fear, fear of failure, low self-esteem, and negative beliefs, which are all things that I'm currently suffering from. Like, I feel like if it ain't perfect, I don't need to do it. Like, even with my weight loss journey, like, I've given up so many times, and just, I had to, hold on, y'all, it's my mom calling. I'll call her right back. It's her birthday. We supposed to be going out, so let me hurry up with this because I could be long-winded. But like, I have an idea of what I want things to be and how I want it to go, and if it don't go like that, y'all, I'm very, like, I get very hard on myself. So what are some examples of things that I was talking about? This procrastination, perfectionism, avoidance, failure, fear of failure, low self-esteem. When I was writing this down, one of the first Bible verses that I learned, because I was living in so much fear, was God has not given us the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. And I used to have to repeat that over and over just to fall asleep because I was so scared of my baby. Y'all, we get into that another day. But if you want to read that verse for yourself, that's 2 Timothy 1:17, and it's, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And it really is a powerful verse, y'all. It really helped me sometimes even walk out the house, because I was living in a state of fear. And we'll put a pin in that. We'll get back to that because that's not what we're talking about, but it is really helpful. So I put some examples: generational curses of unreached potential. That's the big thing in my family. I have my mother, my father, my sister, like my grandmother, are just main people I could think about. Are really good with their hands. My dad, he can fix on your car, he can fix on your house. He come over here all day. If I have a problem, I don't have to call, I don't have to outsource unless I really want to. My dad gonna do it. And he's even talked to me about, like, wanting to start a business. And I always felt like he would be great having his own, like, handyman business. For whatever reason, he never did it. My mom, she got the passion for fashion, okay? She can go into Rainbow and put together something that looked like she got it straight out of a boutique without spending more than $20. Like, she's really great with clothes and just all girly stuff, just being cute. She's always says that she wanted to start a boutique. And even another thing, like, she wanted to go back to school and all this other stuff. She never did it because of fear. Same thing with my dad. My sister be having goals and stuff that she wanna accomplish, and for whatever reason, she don't do it. I won't say out of fear, but I'll say out of self-doubt, because she's very ambitious. But it'd be like, dang, because you never seen nobody do it, you don't feel like it's possible. With my grandmother, she is a phenomenal cook. I'll say still is, because she's sick, but she was a phenomenal cook when I was a child. Like, she used to sell dinners at her house. She even had her a small restaurant. She's a seamstress. She could sew, she could hem, she could sing, like, all of these talents. And even though, like, I would say my grandma was the one who I seen really try to do something with her talents, for whatever reason, it just didn't go far. You know what I mean? But those are things, that's the thing. And I don't want to be, let me put this. One thing that I'm learning is that I've learned that I was taught. When you have generational demons, they know your family, right? Like, for example, I know my father, I know his brothers, some of his cousins, but my daddy, he don't mess with his family like that. So I don't know his family. I just know him. You feel what I'm saying? So whatever generational curses that he has that I have to break and repent for, that for people I don't never even met, those demonic entities, and I'm sorry if I'm getting too, if this ain't your thing, but this is just what it is, y'all. I told you, real, raw, and uncut. This is how I think this is. So if it's not your type of talk, then I guess the video is not for you, but thank you for stopping by. And if you are enjoying the content, please like the video, make me feel good, okay? But like I was saying, those demonic entities, hold on, y'all. That's my mom calling. Let me hurry up. That have been in your family for so long, they know you better than you know yourself, right? I know your grandma. I know your great grandma. I know your great great grandma. I know all your aunties and your cousins. I know your daddy and them. I've been monitoring and facilitating and causing havoc and destruction in these generational and throughout the generations for so long that it's easy for these things to like, I know what roadblocks are going to hinder you, because you just like your grandma, or you got those same quality traits as your great 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 grandma, great auntie, or whatever, that I knew before you was even thought of. You get what I'm saying? Like, he know, like, the enemy really do be knowing you, but the great thing about me getting saved is that when I was washed, when I got baptized, and I made a public display of my faith and my belief in Christ Jesus, when I take a deep breath because I'm talking, when I was cleansed, I was made anew. So no, you don't know me, right? Yeah, you may know the people I come from, but you don't know me. You feel me? And you don't know the plans that the Lord got for me, because it ain't none of your business. You get what I'm saying? So that's just me speaking now, speaking power over myself. But every day, y'all, I don't feel like that. So I guess the video was to be, how am I planning to combat this self-sabotage, this spirit of abortion, and this passion burnout? Well, I made a list, y'all. So one, and we could go through this together. So I put that I'm going to actually try to face my fears, right? And not let my own discouragement in myself stop me from doing what it is that I want to do. So what? I don't have a camera. So what? I don't feel like I'm on here with my makeup and my hair done, and I'm insecure about whatever on my body, my weight, my teeth, my outfit, my clothes, my home. Like, those are just, and if I want more, I gotta hustle, right? Like, not for nothing. Yes, I love doing YouTube, but I'm a single mom. I want to make some money. I want a YouTube check. Okay, I want me a YouTube check. Okay, so if I want to get that check, I have to hustle. You feel me? So I'm gonna try to face my fears, and I'm gonna speak life over myself. And I wrote 3 things down yesterday. I wrote, I'm gonna tell myself that I am able. I have the skills that I need to be successful. I am able. I have the skills that I need to be successful. I don't need to do nothing else. I don't need to go. If I want to add on, I can add on. But God has given me the skills that I need to be successful. I don't need to go back to school. If I want to, I can, but I don't need to. I don't need to do additional whatever. I have what I need, right? I am capable. I will reach a higher level of potential. So I am capable of doing it. I may have only seen people do it on TV, or only seen people do it on social media. I may have never seen nobody do it in my family, but I am capable. The same steps that I see in front of me, if my goal is here and I'm down here, I am capable of climbing those steps. I have the power. I have the self-discipline, like, I'm able to do it, and I am enough, right? So I am confident in my own abilities, and I deserve it, right? It don't matter that, this is me just speaking over myself. It don't matter that, I may not have as much as the next girl who getting 100,000 views, or it just don't matter. I'm enough, right? Whoever I am, whatever I look like, whatever, I'm enough. And I'm going to continuously tell myself these things when I'm feeling low, right? And then I'm going to practice self-discipline. Now, this has been a hard thing for me, y'all. Let me take a deep breath because I've been talking, baby. So I wrote down the definition of self-discipline. So according to Google, Okay, self-discipline is the ability to regulate one's own behavior and actions to achieve a desired outcome or maintain a certain standard. It involves making conscious choices to pursue goals and resist distractions even when motivation is low. Like today, right? My motivation was low. I feel good now. I'm piped up. I'm talking now, but my motivation was low, and when I was writing this down, it's like, okay, well, self-discipline, the biggest lesson that I've learned with self-discipline is my weight loss journey. Like I said, y'all, I'm down 30 pounds, thank the Lord. And this is what I've learned about self-discipline and just being on a journey, right? I have to be consistent, right? Number one, I have to be consistent. But consistency doesn't mean 100% every day. I don't have to wake up every day like, let's get it, let's go run a mile, let's go whatever, because I don't always feel like that. I don't never feel like I want to go run a mile, but I do. I may wake up some days and be like, you know what, I'm feeling real good, I'm gonna go do my walks today, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And then the next day I may wake up like, I don't want to do nothing, but I have to push myself. So some days consistency may look like it's 7 days in a week. Monday I'm at 100%. Tuesday I'm at 80. Wednesday I'm at 110. I'm overhyped. Thursday I'm at 15. Friday I may be at 1 or 0, right? Saturday I may be 17%, and Sunday I may be at 50, right? But it's the fact that I'm still showing up for myself, right? Even when I have days where I eat poorly, right? Because for the most part, I haven't been eating no meat, y'all. But I have had days where I've had fast food, and I just like, you know what, Lord, because I'm done. Like, I'm tired of having to sacrifice, to try to do this. Like, food make me happy. I have a bad attitude right now. I want to be happy. I'm eating some food, right? And I quit in that moment. But moments after that, or even the next day I wake up, I say, you know what, I had a bad day. But that don't mean that I failed. That don't mean that I stop trying. I try again, right? But first you don't succeed, try again. And that's the next thing I went into. Just because you have a bad day or you do something that's counterproductive to the goal, your overall goal, doesn't mean that you quit. It doesn't mean that you're going to fail, or it don't mean that I'm a failure. Just because I do something bad don't mean I'm a failure. I have to recognize my flaw, identify the bad, and how did this happen, and figure out how to change it and go forward. Leave it in the dust and just continue to move. I cannot harbor on it. Yes, I did something bad. Yes, I didn't show up for myself in a way that I should have showed up for myself on its day. But guess what? That's why you always have a new day. You have a new hour and a new minute. So, just try to keep that in mind. And also, slow progress doesn't mean no progress, right? Especially with my subscriber count. I want 1 billion subscribers, but as long as say if I get a subscriber once a month, that's progress, right? Same thing. I've been on this weight loss journey since February. So it's been February, March, April, May, June, almost 6 months. When I look online, I see people lose 30 pounds in a month. That ain't happened for me, right? That didn't happen for me, but it still happened. It happened in a matter of months and not 30 days, but it still happened. And that leads me to my next point, y'all. I have to stop comparing myself to other people, right? I had this social media is such a great thing, but it's such a bad thing too, because for me, I have a bad habit of comparing myself to the things that I see, right? If I look online and I see that this is a goal, me and this person got the same goal, or this person is doing something that I want to do. Even with starting my channel, for example, I love watching story times. I love watching story times like most people. And I watch a lot of them. Do I want to do story times on my channel? Yes. But do I have to do my story times like my favorite story time tellers? No, I don't. Do I have to have a setup like them? No, I don't. Do I have to have an aesthetically pleasing home, or do I have to get on here and have my makeup done like this and that? No, I don't. Is that what I want to do? Yes. But that's just not where I am right now. And me personally, and I'm sure other people deal with this too, I have that bad, like, I get really down on myself. And I put on here that I have to remember that you, speaking to you and speaking to me, as I speak to you, how that song goes, I'm not going to sing on here, but as I'm speaking to y'all, I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to you too. You know, I have to remember that I'm a unique individual. You have to remember that you're a unique individual. And you don't have to be perfect to be successful. You don't have to be just like nobody else to be successful. Everyone's journey is different. And I put down a quote: comparison is the thief of joy. Because it really is, y'all. And I can't stress that enough. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you constantly compare yourself to what other people is doing, you're never going to be happy with what you're doing, right? Especially if you feel like they're doing more, okay? The only, like, you don't compare yourself to others, only compare yourself to your previous self. And I just found that quote yesterday. If I compare myself to who I was 5 years ago, I'm that girl. Okay. Okay. If I compare myself to who I was 5 months ago, I'm that girl. You feel me? The girl who said that I couldn't lose 30 pounds, I'm her. The girl that was crying, pleading to the Lord, please take away my desire to drink. I don't want to be a drunk. I don't want my son growing up with a mother with an addiction. I don't want that. Please take this from me. The girl who felt like she couldn't step into that power, I am that. And I'm pretty sure that people who's watching this video, you that girl too. You're that girl who said that you couldn't do X, Y, and Z, but you did it. So if I'm constantly moving forward, making efforts and conscious attempts to move forward and better my life, and I look at myself yesterday or last week and I'm better, that's progress. You get what I'm saying? Even if I compare myself to where I was, like, you know, there are some people who may have had all their stuff together and then they had an incident where they may have fell off and they had to start over. You feel what I'm saying? But, and you may say, okay, well, I don't have this house or this car or whatever, but you know what I do have? My mental is stronger, right? Like, I'm more humble. I have more humility. I have a better relationship with God. Just try to find things that you've grown in to make yourself, you know, make yourself feel better. All right. Let me take a break. I got a whole bunch of stuff on here, y'all, that I've read. We're going to get through it, though, okay? I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this video under an hour because I talk too much, but I put this. This is what I wrote. I wrote, comparison to others steals your joy. It creates a breeding ground for jealousy and envy, which is something that I suffered from. And if you happen to run across this video and you want to have a conversation about how it feels to be a jealous and envious person, because I've been that person, jealousy your friends, jealousy your family, because of how you feel about yourself, we can have a real conversation about that. Drop a comment, okay, leave me a comment and we can talk about it. We can go into in depth about it. But yeah, it creates a breeding ground for that negative energy to fester, and we don't want to be those people. We want to be the type of homegirls that's happy for all of our friends despite where we are, because we love ourselves, we encourage ourselves, and we're progressing, right? That's who we want to be. Comparison, it'll kill your confidence. It diminishes your self-worth. It makes you ungrateful for the blessings that God has given you. Like me saying that my house is not good enough to record in when I prayed and fasted for almost a year or so for this house is so ungrateful. You know, like I had to tell myself, like, like I literally prayed and cried and yelled and fussed and screamed for my car. For me to say my car ain't good enough because it ain't a Benz. I literally shed layers of myself for this house. I begged and pleaded the Lord for this house. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, comparing yourself to other people, God will make you ungrateful for the things that you should be proud of. And not only do I have a home, y'all, your girl been paying her bills on time, okay? On time and early, okay? I ain't missed the payment, which was something that I did before, which had me lose my last house. You feel what I'm saying? So, just, it causes you to be ungrateful, you know, and where was I at? Okay, so this is another thing. Surround yourself with people who want to see you win. Sometimes you can tell your goals and your plans to everyone, and you know, the enemy will use these people to plant seeds of discouragement and to get you off track to make you feel bad. I had to recognize that I allowed the enemy to use me the other day when my homegirl was telling me her goals because I couldn't think outside the box. Not even fully understanding that she was thinking bigger than I was, right? And I had to apologize to her, y'all. This is real rap. I had to apologize to her, like, girl, I recognize that I allowed the enemy to use me to discourage you, right? And I value our friendship, so I don't want to do that. And I had to apologize, and thank God she is really my friend. You feel what I'm saying? She was able to forgive me. But yeah, you want to surround yourself with people who's going to encourage you. Like, yes, you can do it. You have a goal. I have a goal that I want to do. I have a weight loss goal I want to reach. I have a beauty standard I want to set for myself. I have goals about my home, goals for my son, goals for motherhood, just goals for my family. I don't want to tell my goals to people and they be like, you can't, that's not attainable, because they don't understand. So sometimes it's best to just shut up. You feel me? Until you're able to find your community to talk to and vent to or whatever, and just go out and do it and prove people wrong. That don't necessarily mean you have to have a chip on your shoulder. Just recognize that you can't give that type of vulnerability to everybody, especially if you're a person like me who said they're gonna do something and never do it, or talk about something so much and never obtain it. You know, people be like, girl, you always say you're gonna do X, Y, and Z and you never do it, right? That just plants seeds of doubt in yourself when you already trying to speak life over yourself. So that's another thing. But the most important thing, and this is where I'm gonna close it out because I've been running my mouth for 41 minutes. Most importantly, you have to allow God to be the center of all of your goals, all of your dreams, and all of your desires, y'all. If it's his will for your goals and your dreams and your desires to be reached, y'all, he's going to pour into that, right? How can I put this? Sometimes I remember asking God, like, I have a yearning for these things. If it's not for me, then take this desire away from me. Take away the desire for me to, like, have a husband and have more kids. He never took that from me. He still ain't take it from me. Even though I have fear, like, dang, what if I have another baby with autism? Or I have fear of being a single mom of more than one baby, or giving myself to another man who don't fully love me. You know, he even with those fears, he still never took that desire away from me. Even with me having a passion burnout for making content in YouTube, he still never took that desire away from me. I still fantasize about being able to find, like, one day we're gonna do these video diaries, okay? And I'm gonna be in front of a nice background. I'm gonna have on my cute little robe. I'm gonna be like, y'all, let me tell you about my week. You know, it's gonna be like, I have this vision of who I want to be, and he's never changed that, right? That's how I know this is something I'm meant to do. I love beautifying myself. I want to get on here eventually, once I get my camera and my setup, and do my makeup with y'all and talk about my dating life or talk about my work life and just pop it. Like, I want to get on live. Like, I sit and watch people lives. I want to be the girl on the live talking to my community, like, what's up? You know, like, that's what I want for myself. And even though I have passion burnout, when I lay in bed at night, the Lord remind me of my dreams and stuff. Like, he's never taken it away from me. So I know that if I try, he'll pour into me, right? So if it's his will for you to achieve your goals, he will direct your path. He'll give you encouragement and conviction too, to help you, you know, to reach your goals and to move forward. Now, with the conviction, it's like your mama telling you, like, my relationship with my son is so similar to how my relationship with God is, right? I tell my son all the time, don't do that because it's not safe. If you run out into that street, you're gonna get hit by a car. It may not happen this time, or it may not happen the next time, but if you keep doing it, eventually it will happen if you're not paying attention, right? So I convict my son in that way for him to say, okay, hold on now. My mama done told me if I go out here, I'm gonna get hit by a car, and I don't want that. So in order to keep myself safe, I'm gonna stay on the sidewalk. The Lord do the same thing for you. Even with me and my weight loss journey, prime example. I've been on a fast. I've been on a 30-day fast with the Lord, and it's coming to an end, but I think I'm gonna run it back. I don't know. It's coming to an end, and it's been mostly fruits and vegetables, and I've been able to drop almost 20 pounds, right, in a month. Okay, so y'all, but it's been a journey. I had one day where I was sitting here, I was so mad at my baby daddy, and I can't smoke my cigarettes or smoke my weed no more like I used to. I can't pour up a drink because I've been cured from that. I don't, even though I have the desires, I don't have to lean on that. So my biggest thing has been leaning on food. I bust open a bag of chips and I said, Lord, you have to forgive me, because like, I need something to brighten me up. And yes, the chips did make me feel better. in that moment, you know, which is probably like, chips make you feel better, girl. I got a food addiction. We'll talk about that. We'll put a pin in that. If y'all want to talk about the food addiction, put it in the comments, okay? Give me some ideas so we can keep this thing rolling, okay? But yes, it made me feel good in that moment. But the next morning, the Lord spoke to me and He said, adultery. And I'm like, adultery? And basically, He was like, you cheated on me. Like, you, though, that little bag of chips, like, you cheated on me. How do you expect for me to allow you? And it was crazy because that was the first thing that came, like, adultery. I ain't a married woman. But this relationship that I have with Christ, it's a marriage, right? I dedicated myself to Him. I said it. I confessed it with my tongue. You feel what I'm saying? I did a public display of getting baptized. I pray. We are in a marriage, and if I make a promise and a commitment to Him and I go back on it, no matter how small, yes, it is cheating. And I want to have a faithful relationship with the Lord so He can give me a faithful man, and I can be a faithful wife and a faithful friend. You get what I'm saying? So that little conviction that the Lord told me, like, basically, He gonna talk to you in a way you can understand. Like, basically, you cheated on me, and I'm not okay with it. Like, so I had to ask the Lord to forgive me, and I said, you know what, Lord, okay, I understand the severity of this, and I won't do it no more. Yes, it's gonna be hard, but I don't wanna cheat on you. That sounds crazy, but I don't want to cheat on you because I don't want you to cheat on me. Like, that's a big fear, having the Lord turn His back on me. Like, if the Lord treated me like how I treat Him, girl. Let me wrap this up, y'all. I got low power, and my mama keep calling. So yeah, that's where we at. So this is what we gonna do. This the last of it, and we gonna close it out. Y'all, we gonna pray for strength daily. We gonna ask the Lord to give us the strength that we need in order to achieve our goals, okay? We gonna forgive ourselves for previous failures. I'm saying this right now. Y'all can say it too. I forgive me. I forgive myself, okay? And really mean it. And try to have a fresh start. Like, start each day anew, right? With a fresh perspective and a fresh attitude. I didn't have the best day yesterday, but the good thing about yesterday is that it's gone, right? And start a new day. And we're going to take baby steps. We're going to take little bitty steps that we need to take in order to be successful. If you want to take a big leap, then take a big leap. But if you are like me and you suffer from passion burnout and the spirit of abortion and, just a lack of self-discipline and self-doubt, sometimes you got to take baby steps. So that's, and if that's all you can do, then that's all you can do, because slow motion is better than no motion. And then I'm gonna encourage myself. One of my favorite songs to listen to, even though I don't always want to listen to it, is dang, I can't even remember what it's called. I can't remember. I think it's by the Tri-City Singers. And the woman, she says, I think it's called Be Encouraged. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Don't talk about my singing. But that's how the song go, right? And it's a great song to speak over yourself, because she say some words like, greater is He who is in me. And when you say that and you having a bad day, you have yes, the Holy Spirit that resides in me is greater than anything that I'm feeling, any self-doubt, any stress. Greater is He that is in me. So I don't need to feel like this, right? Like, she says some powerful things that are in there. Like, as long as you continue to speak over yourself, y'all, and fight that mental fight, we gotta fight the mental fight. We're gonna be okay. Whenever the enemy speaks doubt over you, you tell him, no, no, so, and, right? I may feel like this, I may not. Like with me, the enemy is like, why is you gonna record a video, ain't nobody gonna watch it? You only got like 36 subscribers. But it's like, so, the Bible say, and I ain't even gonna lie and be like, I know the Bible like the back of my hand, because I don't. I be struggling reading. I talk to the restaurant, you can bring Ryan there. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, well, back to what I was saying. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, when the enemy, like I just lost my point. Maybe it was just not meant for me to say it, but we're going to encourage ourselves. We're going to speak life over ourselves. That's what I was saying. The Bible, it says that, if you resist the enemy, he will flee from you. And I've learned that personally. sometimes you got to speak it out loud. People gonna look at you crazy. Like, I have thoughts that are crazy. I'm like, I have to, like, I rebuke you. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Or just be like, shut up. Like, I have something that I'm doing and you trying to throw me off the track, and that's just not where I'm at right now, right? So that's what we're going to practice. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for me or for you, but if you want an accountability buddy, subscribe to your homegirl. We're going to build a community. We're going to build a community because it's going to grow. And don't you want to be one of those girls that's like, or boys, whoever, like, I remember when she was sitting on that couch that she got at a discount with them pillows that she got from Amazon, those curtains that she got from Walmart. Okay, I remember that girl. You know, I remember that girl that was filled with self-doubt. And look at her now, and I could be like, I remember. You know, we can grow together. So yeah, thank y'all for watching me ramble. It's been 50 minutes. I hope that y'all really enjoyed this video, and if you made it to the end, thank you so much. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.